If we can get this going. Hey, Emeka, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect, man. Hey, first of all, thank you so much for joining us here on the RSL show on our IG Live. I was
Mm,
just letting everybody know that we're going to try to do this every week with the player. So you're actually the first one
really?
to come on and join us. Yeah, so thank you.
I, no problem. No problem.
Hey, Emeka. So first of all, I want to ask you, who is Emeka Eneli? How would you describe yourself as Emeka Eneli?
I would say I'm a very outgoing person. Very caring, just hardworking and outgoing. I think those would be the two best words to describe me.
Awesome, man. And what are some of the characteristics that would use to describe yourself as a player?
I think hardworking again. I think that's the most important term to describe me as a player. Hardworking. I think I'm very strong on the ball, offensively and defensively, both ways. I just work really hard. So, yeah.
Awesome, man. And what are some characteristics that you would use to kind of maybe describe yourself as a person?
Um, as a person, I think I'm very caring. I really care about the people close to me, family, friends, teammates, people that have gotten to me where I've been today. It wouldn't be without them. And I think because of that, it's a very caring person. Very outgoing. I like to go out and do things, have fun, stuff like that.
Beautiful, man. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. Let's talk a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
hmm
At what age, kind of how young were you when you began to play football?
Um, Honestly, I think I started when I was maybe like 5 or 6. Up in Lansing, Michigan, actually, where I was born. My mom took me out one time, and then since then I've just been playing. So,
Beautiful, man. And since you started at such a young age, how old were you, and like how did you get involved with the Columbus Crew Academy?
so my family moved to Columbus when I was about maybe 8 or 9. Um, and then once I got to Columbus, I started playing with a club team called Club Ohio when I was about 9 or 10 for I think 2 years, and then from there, I'm not sure. I think maybe like a scout or somebody introduced me to the crew system. So I started crew pre-academy when I was about I think 12 is when I started there.
So you started doing Ohio Premier before the
hmm
Columbus Crew, and
hmm
someone told me that you actually won a national championship with Ohio Premier in
Yeah.
2018.
So yeah, I played crew for I think about since I'm 12 to 17. I think my since I was like in 6th grade all the way to my junior year of high school, and then my last year, I decided to play high school soccer instead of do the academy. Because if you play academy, you can't play high school soccer. And since I did that, like I'm not allowed to join the academy after my high school soccer season. So therefore, I went and joined Ohio Premier for my senior season, like right before I went to Cornell, and we won the national championship there. So that was a good time to win something like that.
Beautiful, man. Tell us a little bit about that. What was kind of that experience of just going on and winning on a national championship with Ohio Premier?
I think I don't know. I love winning. I love winning. I'm not gonna lie. So I think just doing that. I think it's just not only the fact of winning, but just winning with your teammates. There's something about that that just really excites me, and I think I had a great time doing it. Hopefully, I can do it more here. So that's the plan.
The beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of people right now watching this would love to hear that answer. Um, and also in high school, man, you were a member of the National Honor Society. How did you get? How did you get? I guess we're gonna get into the academics of it. How was high school for you? How was the experience of being in the National Honor Society?
Yeah, high school was fun. I think, as I said, I was with the academy for 3 years, so I didn't do like any other high school sports, like no soccer for the high school until my senior year, no like track, no basketball. So I think that gave me a decent amount of time to focus on some of my academics and some of my extracurriculars like NHS. And I just, after training, before I went to training, studied hard, studied with some friends and got stuff done.
Awesome, man. And I'm guessing that kind of helped you bridge into getting into like university and into university like Cornell, right?
hmm hmm Yeah, I think Cornell's obviously a tough university, but I think high school helped prepare me for that. I think some of the habits that I got in high school carried on into college, and I also learned a couple things, of course, which helped me later on in my college years. So yeah.
Awesome, man. So tell us a little bit about kind of your time at Cornell academically. We'll get into the athletics here in a bit, but just kind of What'd you go and you study? Like, what subject did you study? Where'd you go major in? Tell us a little bit about your time at Cornell.
Yeah, so I started there in the fall of 2018. I think fall of 2018, and I went in planning to study biological engineering, which I actually ended up did graduating with a biological engineering degree. But for me, it was a little bit weird. But I think maybe towards the end of my sophomore year, maybe I kind of wasn't feeling the engineering classes. I'm not sure if it was like the math or like I just wasn't feeling it as much, and I kind of wanted to switch to business a little bit. But I think where I was at with like my credits and like the curriculum, it wasn't gonna really work out fully. So I always thought to myself, and like I talked with my parents about it too. I think it's always like a good thing. If you like get a business major, I think it's kind of tough to go on and then do engineering stuff. So I think if I stuck with my engineering degree and then picked up a business minor, if I wanted to do business stuff, I could do business stuff. But if I also wanted to go back and do some engineering stuff, maybe after I'm done playing, then I can also do that. So that's what I ended up doing, finishing in biological engineering, and then also doing a business and a minor in business. Sorry.
Dude, that's awesome. That's crazy. So you're going out into, I guess, the athletic parts of it. And congratulations on graduating, man. Especially in a degree
Thank you.
like
Thank you.
engineering. That's fantastic. So you've kind of been a consistent starter for Cornell since about your freshman year. So talk to
Mhm.
us a little bit about kind of the growth of Cornell men's soccer under head coach John Smith.
Yeah, I think John. I can say John is probably one of the main reason why I chose to go to Cornell. I think the season the season before I committed to Cornell, I think they had one win only. So it obviously wasn't based on like the results or like how well they were as a team. It was based on John, and John I think he's a really good coach, a really good person as well, and the culture that he was building at Cornell was something that I wanted to be a part of. So obviously started off our freshman year. We actually had a pretty solid season my freshman year. I think we won maybe 11 games, missed out on the tournament, but then sophomore year, junior year, senior year, we kind of just grew upon each year. Um, and then obviously my final year, um, we made the NCAA tournament. We were able to win in the
Right.
first round. We beat Maryland and then played Syracuse in the Sweet 16 and ended up losing, unfortunately. But it was just nice kind of to see everything come together after being there for so long, for 4 years, and almost going from basically one win to then making the Sweet 16 in the national tourney. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about that game against Maryland because from what I was looking at, Cornell didn't make it to the NCAA Division One tournament, but you were on the team that did. So just going into that game against Maryland, how did that feel, man? How did that feel being able to have the opportunity to compete for the NCAA national championship?
It was great. I mean, it was really cold that game. I won't forget that. Ithaca's not a warm place, and especially Ithaca in November, late November, freezing. Uh, but now the vibes were good. I think we had a really good turnout with. Usually, I'm not gonna lie, we don't get that many fans at the games, but towards the end of the season, we started getting like a really good turnout, and for the tourney game, which we were hosting, we got a really good turnout. I think just playing with my teammates, fighting with them in like a game of that magnitude, it just meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to us, and we came out victorious, which is always a good thing.
So what's colder? What was colder, I guess, the Saturday's game against St. Louis or that game in Ithaca against Maryland?
That's a good. I actually think the game against Maryland. I think the stadium around me on Saturday was kind of like protecting me from the environment a little bit. Like it wasn't as windy. It didn't feel as cold, but like in Ithaca up at Cornell, there's no real stadium. So it's just you have everything bearing down on you. And I think the game against Maryland was colder.
Awesome, man. Hey, so you leave Cornell as an all league or as an all Ivy League first team player. You got 50 goals, 20 assists in your career at Cornell. What kind of impact, what kind of legacy do you hope you left at Cornell?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna reference my coach again. I know some of my older teammates are gonna like this, but he always says to leave your jersey in a better place than you found it. So I think coming in, like you obviously don't really know what that means because it's just how can I do that? But I think with your actions on and off the field, and your impact you have on other players, your coaches. I think that was just my main goal, leaving the jersey in a better place. So I hope whenever anybody picks up a Cornell soccer jersey or anyone like references my name with Cornell soccer, they can see what I did, but not only as a player on the field, but a player off the field, with school and stuff like that. That was just my main goal.
Dude, I absolutely love that answer. That's perfect. What kind of aspects of your game as a player did Cornell help you grow in?
Mhm. I think I think mostly I think the biggest impact would be probably my mentality and just the intensity of how I play and how I defend. Because I think coming from the crew academy, like I feel like any academy system, it's a lot of just technical and tactical stuff. It's not really like how to defend or like how to prepare your mind for the game, or if you go down, it's just like first touch, decision making, striking the ball, stuff like that. But then when you get to college, it's a little bit different, I guess, based on what college you go to. But my college, like they were really focused on your mentality. How can you kind of like be an animal on the field and bring that intensity to every single training session and then every single game? So I think that the mentality part of soccer, Cornell really helped me with that.
Awesome, man. Now looking at another point of view, what kind of aspects did Cornell help you grow in as a person?
hmm I think, I think one of the biggest things is I think any college will will do this to you is just being able to be vulnerable and ask for help, because like obviously going to a college as tough as Cornell, um, pretty far from Columbus, you're gonna be in some like unknown territory. You're not gonna really know what to do, and if you're too scared to ask for help, then you're gonna struggle even more. So I think it allowed me to open up a little bit more, be more vulnerable, be able to ask questions, be able to ask for help when I need it, which then helped me get to where I'm at today.
Beautiful, man. And speaking about where you are today, let's fast forward now a little bit to the MLS Super Draft. How does kind of that process go from being like a college standout at Cornell to getting your name up on the draft boards for in the MLS Super Draft?
Yeah, it's probably different for everybody, but I guess for me, it was a lot of talking with my coach about some teams that were interested in me. I ended up getting an agent after my season, which also helped me because he kind of fostered the contact between all the different clubs that were kind of interested in me, and then just brought it back to me. So my agent kind of told me some clubs that had an interest in me. I talked with a few of those clubs before the super draft, just like a kind of like an interview like this, just like my interests, what I'm like as a person, what I'm like as a player, stuff like that. And then on draft day, just watching and waiting to hear your name get called, hopefully.
And so now we go to that moment where you get your name called in the first round. How do you react to that? How do you feel in that moment when you see that or hear that?
Yeah, I felt great. I was with my family. I had a couple friends over as well, and then just hearing your name get called. It's a long process. I'm not gonna lie. I think it started at like 5 p.m. And I don't know why they do it like this, but like a teams can trade, and if a team trades, then the clock resets to 4 minutes. Teams can take timeout, stuff like that. So for like the whole first round, it took almost 2.5 hours.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah. So since I didn't get picked till like later end of the first round,
Yeah.
I was watching for like 2 hours. So you're a little nerves build up a little bit, but then once you finally hear your name called, you're just ecstatic, excited, stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. And so being in that moment where, your name goes in that first round, like that's gotta be fulfilling, right?
Yeah, very. Because I don't know. You look at it as this, if you've been trying to do this for your whole life, almost for like what, almost 19, 18 years, 20 years I've been playing soccer, and kind of the end goal is you want to be a professional soccer player. So I think hearing my name get called, it just felt good. It made me proud.
Awesome, man. And so you've kind of been, since you got picked, you've kind of been with RSL on the team since like the preseason, but you weren't really officially signed until the past week. So what was it kind of like just being a part of the group, but kind of waiting for your opportunity to get that contract, to get the debut?
Yeah, it was good. I think that made me feel very, very welcomed. Actually, for me, it was kind of a little bit weird because the first 3 weeks, like I was training obviously with the first team, um, but then I think end of January maybe, in like a simple passing drill, I just pulled my quad. So I was actually out for six. I didn't train. I didn't do any full training for 6 weeks because my quad, which is kind of annoying because obviously when you go to a new environment, especially a new playing environment, you want to be playing all the time. You don't want to be out with an injury or anything like that, especially during preseason. So after that injury and just like being on the sidelines and like working with the rehab team, I think the coaches and the players still made me feel very welcomed and like I was a part of the team, even while I was doing that, even while I wasn't training with with them. So that once I was able to come back, probably about maybe three-ish weeks ago, uh, it just felt like normal, and it just felt good.
Well, great, man. Because that kind of leads into my next question. Because my next question is, what's kind of been your first impressions of RSL, whether it be the players, whether it be the team? They've told you about the X dog, right, and the vibes. Have you been informed on
I
that?
don't think I've been informed about that yet.
You got to get on the X dog train.
I'll
But
look. I'll look at it. I'll look at it.
perfect, man. What's been kind of your impressions of RSL?
I think it's a fantastic place. I think everybody here, like the players, the coaching, um, medical staff, rehab staff, the trainers, like just it feels like a family almost, like a second family, which is obviously what you want. Um, and it's been great. They made me feel very welcome since the first day and until now, and I'm super grateful for that.
Awesome, man. And what about Salt Lake City? What about the state of Utah? What's kind of been your impressions on the city?
You know what? uh, I haven't really been out in the city that often because I live across from the training facility, so I'm about like 20-25 minutes from
Yeah.
downtown. So to be honest, around here there's nothing really. Like there's just the training facility. I go to train, I come back, relax. Luckily my roommate, shout out Keller, he has a car, so we went down to downtown I think 2 days ago maybe. This place called Italian Graffiti.
Okay.
Justin Glad recommended it, and to be honest, again, it wasn't super good to me, but it was nice being downtown. So I'm hoping that it's a lot of snow too. Like every single morning we wake up to go to training, like it snows again. And I'm like, wow, it's almost April now and it's still snowing. So I'm hoping though that as I'm here longer, as the weather warms up a little bit, I can go out, explore a little bit more, visit downtown um, more often as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It's usually kind of warmer by now.
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on with our weather this year, but definitely go out, go visit the town more because we'd like to get more of your impressions on Salt Lake City and
Hey,
whatnot. But
I'll
hey,
do that.
man,
I'll do that.
perfect. Hey, dude, looking ahead, because of your time with the Crew Academy, do you maybe consider this weekend's match going to Columbus Crew a little bit of a homecoming for you?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I know a couple of homegrown players that I played with in the academy that are on the crew now. So I think it'll be nice to see. It'll be nice to see them. A lot of families coming. A lot of my friends are coming to the game as well. I think it'll just be fun to play in front of them. But I guess I could say maybe a little bit of a homecoming. Yeah,
Beautiful. And how's the team in the locker room kind of? How's the team in the locker room kind of heading into this away trip to Columbus?
we're excited. I mean, I think we're ready to fight again. Obviously, the result didn't go our way on Saturday, but the good thing about the season is that there's another game this Saturday, so we can forget about that and just go and smash Columbus. So I think the vibes they're feeling really good in the locker room. Everybody's excited. Everybody's ready to get down to work.
So I don't know if you can tell us this yet, but since it is a little bit of a homecoming for you, are you planning on traveling with the team this weekend? Are we gonna see Emeka, Eneli, in Columbus this
I,
weekend?
I am planning on traveling with the team this weekend.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man, beautiful. Hey, and just a couple more questions, man, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But is there any specific moment in your career to this point where you can kind of pinpoint and be like, this is the moment where I fell in love with football?
Mm, good question. That's a good question. Um, I don't know if I can pinpoint an exact moment. I just feel like every single time like I step out on the field for a game, I just feel like blessed. I'm able to do this. Like even when I was younger, like a lot of people maybe aren't able to do what I'm doing right now, and especially like today, a lot of people aren't able to do what I'm doing right now. And I think just having that in the back of my mind that I'm blessed to be able to do this, I think it just motivates me and makes me want to get even better and reach more things in my soccer career.
Awesome, man. And is there a moment where you can pinpoint where you decided that maybe professional footballing is what you want to do? You wanted to be a professional player.
Mhm. Hmm. I don't know if I can pinpoint an exact moment. I feel like since I started playing, like not when I was really young, but since I got to the Crew Academy, I think, and like obviously I watched a couple Crew games. Um, I think just watching those crew games, watching other like premier games online, La Liga, Serie A. My brother is a big soccer fan as well. I think having him, I think just being around soccer so much, I think that made me want to reach the professional level.
Perfect, man. And I love that you mentioned kind of like the overseas and the European leagues, because like my next question for you, man, is where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you like have ambitions to go to Europe? Do you have ambitions to go play in those bigger leagues? What's kind of your plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. Obviously, if I got the opportunity to go overseas and play in in a bigger league than the MLS, I think I would take that opportunity right away. But obviously, I'm just gonna take it day by day here. Hopefully, perform well here the next couple of years, and then just see what comes from it.
Perfect, man. What are your goals here now that you have that kind of, you've already made the debut, you're already playing, you're already trying to break into that starting 11, get consistent minutes. What's kind of your
Mhm.
goals looking at this season now for you?
Yeah, I think that would be my main goal is to be trying to be a consistent starter, at least get consistent minutes, whether it's at right back or in midfield, anywhere. Just hopefully get consistent minutes. Because once you get consistent minutes, then you can hopefully be able to your talent can really show. You can really prove what you can do. So I think for my first season here, hopefully to continue to get consistent minutes, that would be my biggest goal.
And do you have any preference, I guess, in position? Obviously, we talked a little bit about it Saturday after the game. You said you could play anywhere, but is there a preference for you? Would you rather be forward? Would you rather be defender? Where do you envision yourself the most? Where do you feel comfortable the most?
I think I feel most comfortable probably in midfield, almost anywhere in midfield. But then again, like I said, I think I'm really comfortable as well playing as a 10 or a striker, and then obviously learning how to play right back right now. I'm getting how it feels to play. I'm getting more comfortable there, obviously. So like I feel like as time goes on, I think honestly the more positions I can play in, then the better chance for me to play on the field as well. So I like midfield, but anywhere really.
Awesome, man. Do you have any last words, any last things you want to say to the fans before we wrap this up?
Um, just I'm happy, grateful to be part of the RSL family. Um, I can't wait for obviously the game this weekend, but the game next weekend at home. I think we're gonna get some good results coming up, and I know me and the rest of the team, we're gonna continue to fight, continue to work really, really hard, and we're just excited, and we'll make you guys proud.
Perfect, man. I hope you know that we're all here rooting for you. We really like what we saw from you on Saturday. We're very excited to see how you continue to grow, man. So thank you for being a part of the RSL family, and thank you for coming on. We really appreciate your time, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And hey, remember RSL Nation or RSL show listeners, we're going to be trying to do this every week. We're going to try to get a new player on here every week, have a little chit chat, have a little interview, just like we did with Emeka. So again, Emeka, thank you so much for joining us.
Hmm.
And yeah, we'll wrap it up there.
Appreciate it. Thank you. See you guys.
Absolutely, man. Have a good night.
Bye.